Hello, this is Marsha McLean, your professional sister. I hope you all are doing well. I'm a little dressed down today. I got some t-shirts in that I'm excited to share with you all. Um, Please let me know a thumbs up if you can hear me, just because my mic was acting a little funny early. But my shirt says Black, Educated, Secure. It must be a professional sister. I really like this. This is a nice one. So I'm excited. I'm a little dressed down. I had on a blazer, but it's hot. So I just got the t-shirt on. I hope y'all look good with that. So I didn't get any spotlights for the children for our community spotlight. So what I'm gonna do for this community spotlight is just tell you kind of how I got started, because I get a lot of DMs and messages about how did you get started, what helped you. So I put in here some things that assisted me along the way. So I want to talk to you first about small business resources. It's called SCORE. If you want to think you want to do a small business and you feel like I can do it, talk to people at SCORE that'll provide support. I will say this to you, please do not connect with negative family and friends that's not going to support you, okay? Don't do that. Don't waste your time. Go to some professional people that have volunteered and invested their time and resources to help you. So SCORE, and I put it in here because I think SCORE is national. It's not just in North Carolina. So it's national, okay? And say, for instance, you say, I'm already in business, Marsha, but I need a website or I need a logo. Some ones that have helped me is oh, that sounded right, country is but some things that have helped me were upwork.com and Pfizer. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'll spell it for you. Fiverr.com. You know, these are people overseas that charge a little bit less than America. You know, so they can help you. They can help you with websites. They can help you with logos, you know, all that type of stuff if you're interested in small business. And if you say, I'm not interested in none of that, I'm proud, I'm happy with my 9 to 5, I commend you. But maybe give it to somebody that may benefit from it, okay? But I would like to continue to do the spotlights with children just because this is a hard time for the kids, you know? And if you feel like they're doing good, they're maintaining their grades and they're volunteering and doing a little something, you know, please send me their picture and their story, and I'll be there, sure to just shout them out to encourage them. But this is Community Spotlight, and I just want to make sure that I provided you some information for anybody that's interested in thinking about small business or taking your business to that next level. Okay, you realize, hey, I need to put some things in place, and it takes time, you know. So these are some things that you can kind of reach out for. But I will say this to you as a small business. I'm going to just say business. I don't really like attaching small to stuff that I do, but I'm going to just say business. You have to be careful because some people that you think will support you will not. And you have to be okay with that. Everybody is not meant to go with you on every journey, and that's okay. So just be prepared for that. Keep your mouth closed, keep things closed, you know, because you'll let people talk you out of your dreams when you get to talking too much. So be careful, write it down and commit to yourself. Only you have it, okay? If there's something I can leave you with, I remember when I was starting out as a therapist, and I asked some therapists, could it help me with a room? They tried to charge me an arm and a leg. I remember I was looking at, you know, a lady in church that I looked up to, and I asked her for help with a website, and she wouldn't even give me the information. That really hurt me. But that's when I began to realize people are not going to see you like the world see you. You know, they're just not. They're not going to see you because of where you came from, because of who you are. They're just not going to see you that way. And you have to be okay with that because everybody is not meant for your journey. You just need to connect to the right people to continue your journey. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you need help finding out some resources. I'll do my best to help you. Now, I don't know everything. I know about life coaches and business coaches. I think there is definitely a difference. And I'm just being honest with you. If you need therapy, you need to go to a therapist. A life coach is not going to help you in therapy. And you need to be careful because some life coaches are being sued because they are trying to do therapy that they have not been trained for. Yes, I am on my little high horse. I'm gonna jump back down in a minute, but you need to be careful. Now, if you just need somebody to kind of motivate you and keep you on task, then you do the business coach, okay? If you need some help, like you keep stumbling on certain things, get you a life coach. But if you know you got ADHD, yes, I'm talking to you, or you're a little depressed, or you are manipulative, we're going to get into that day about gaslighting, then you need to go see a show enough therapist that's been trained, okay? That's all I'm saying. But all of these things will hinder you in your destination when you're working towards certain goals, okay? So if you say, hey, Marsha, I think I would like to start out with a business. Maybe you all bake goods wonderful. Maybe you're an awesome speaker. Listen, I'm countrified. But if I could get up here and talk and say a little something, if you feel like, hey, I think I can do that, I feel like I can connect to the people, call me, I'll help you out. I mean, I don't mind helping nobody. But one thing I will not help you with, and y'all church folks forgive me because y'all know I love y'all like some cornbread. Y'all know that. But if you're trying to preach to the people to get some money out their pockets, I can't help you with it. Okay. Now, don't misunderstand me. If you feel like you a preacher, get you a church, okay? Get you a church and do the Bible study, do all of that, okay? I will not help you with that. To misuse my community, I will not help you with that. But if you say, Marsha, there is certain things that I can discuss and talk about. I want to do a master class. I want to do this, and that. Reach out to a sister. I'll help you. Or I'll try to direct you where you need to go. But another thing, now look at me now. Y'all gonna pay. Now don't misunderstand me. If you need help directing a course, I'll send you right there. But I'm not sending you somewhere where people don't just give you everything for free. Because if you're in business, I'm sending you to a business. Remember that, okay? You're going to a business. So if you're going to a business, they expect to be paid upon services rendered. So I want you to kind of think about that, okay? And then if everything is free for you, what is your investment in your future? If it's always got to be free or you always got to talk people down and shuck and jive and stuff, do you think you're going to get people quality work when you do that? I know that's worth a like and a share. I'm just saying, think about stuff like that. If I'm sending you to a business, it's a business. It's not cousin Hambone from the cookout, okay? It's a business. And because of that, they're going to be professional and they're going to want to be paid, okay? There may be contracts in place, okay? So just kind of think about that. Remember that. Don't be shucking and jiving people. Pay people their money just like you want to be paid, okay? Pay people their money, please. You'll get a better experience. I promise you will, because when I'm paid and I feel like people value what I say, I'm going to be 100%. See, you won't expect that I'm going to be 100%. But if you're trying to shuck and jive with me, I'm going to just be walking you to the door like, well, maybe I'm not the best one for you, okay? So all I'm saying is think about that. So that is going to be, I'm going to put this right up here. That is going to be my spotlight for today, okay? Small business. If you're ready to invest in yourself, come on and jump on in the water with me. Come on. Or if you're saying, hey, I don't know how to get started, I'll help you out. But when I'm sending you somewhere, please remember that business I'm sending you to, that's their livelihood, okay? So let's be fair, okay? Let's do things right in that order. We're grown, okay? We're grown. And then we want to show that next generation as well. You do people right, okay? Even when people may not do you right, you still do people right, okay? So that that child or that young person to see that as an example. Does that make sense? I know it makes sense, but I feel somebody saying that makes sense to me. Thank you for shaking your head through the internet lines. I appreciate that. Oh, this is good too. Be sure you work with professional business. That is the truth. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to just tell on myself so y'all can know that I'm honest. This amazing book that I wrote, y'all, can y'all believe it? I was sold, I think, over 400 copies. Oh, God so blessed me. But let me tell you about this little powerful book. I had to pay for this book twice because I dealt with church folks. Lord forgive me. I'm talking about the church folks from the South Side that do people dirty and do it in the name of Jesus. That's what I'm saying. So I had to do this. I had to pay for this book twice, dealing with the wrong type of people. And I will say this to you lovingly. Do not do business where you worship at unless you are really led by God, because when you have to sit across the aisle and know somebody owe you money or did you dirty, you better hope God have you sitting to that seat, because a fight might break out. I'm just telling you. This book took 2 years because somebody stole my money. And I had a contract. I had a contract. But they moved. And because they moved, I couldn't get my money. But I'm going to tell you, it's church, folks. That's why when people come up to me and be like, well, I'm a man or woman of God, you put a bad taste in my mouth, because why you got to tell me that if we doing business? Your work will speak for you itself. I ain't jumping on church people today. I love y'all. I'm one of y'all. But what I'm saying is, you know some bad apples in there, okay? And some of y'all pastors just let them people loose on your whole flock. You have to be ashamed of yourself. But all I'm saying is, I myself, this powerful book, I'm speaking into this as I want to be an Amazon bestseller. I had to pay for this book twice. And I was like, Lord, forget it. I don't care nothing. I'm tired. I'm not paying for this again because this ain't right. But somehow this book is here, so I feel like it was a blessing. But all I'm saying to you is, because I didn't have stuff in order, because I trusted somebody's relationship with the Lord, I got messed up, okay? And I like this too. This is coming from a teacher as well in North Carolina. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And if you know you messed up, just be honest. I messed up. I'm sorry. What can I do to repair the breach? Okay. I feel like preaching, but I'm gonna slow down, because that's not what I came here to talk to y'all about. But I would like to start doing the community spotlight. So if you know of any children that are doing some wonderful things, if you know of any people that are doing wonderful things that may need their business shouted out, let people know where they're located, please send them to Marsha@yourprofessionalsister.com, so that I can make sure to just give them their moment, or one moment out of many, so that people can kind of connect with them. Does that make sense? That makes sense. Okay. Please like and share. I appreciate it. So we're going to get right into it today. We're going to talk about gaslighting. Okay. When I first heard this, I was like, gaslighting, what is that? So I had to get a little training on it. And it's really about another name for manipulation that people do, that men and women do. I know men get thrown, oh, you're a narcissist, you're manipulative, but there's some women out there do the same thing. I can't throw the brothers under the bus without throwing the women. It's just y'all just as messy. And I want to know, where is it rooted from? Where does it come where you're so easily to manipulate somebody, mistreat people, and then blame it on them for you treating them like that? You affecting that person's personality so bad that they are second guessing their thoughts. Y'all like my new nails? So normally, can y'all see them? They're blue, like UNC blue. So I'm a UNC fan, but my son say I flip flop. So the reason I got is, one day I was feeling down in blue, down in blue. But so I was like, well, let me get my nails the color of the sky, because it was raining and stuff last week. So I was like, let me get, so I could just see a little brightness every now and again. So that's where that came from. Because normally I don't wear color nails. I just wear clear nails. I don't say big hands, but I got the super hands, and they got to be painted and treated real good, for for them to not look so super. I don't say big, I say super. So I think the color just does something for it. Don't you think so? Yeah, I know so. Yeah. So do something nice for yourself, okay? But let me get back to this, okay? So let's talk about gaslighting. Let me get serious. When you are in abusive relationships, and people just don't start out being in abusive relationships, okay? It starts somewhere else. It starts with you not seeing healthy relationships in your home. Maybe your mom was a single parent and you saw her, dating different men, moving in, moving out. Every few years she had somebody new. And you never saw anything healthy. And you saw the arguing, the fussing, the slightest little thing, they're gone, and you shuffling around and stuff. That affects your ability to know what healthy is. It starts to distort your view a little bit, okay? And it can start as early as 3 or 4. Say, for instance, your mom was in a good relationship, and all of a sudden she became unstable, and you had these fear, being lost or mistreated or not seeing dad. That may go along in your adult relationship, so you want to be careful of that. This also goes for boys. A lot of young men now, live off women. I'm not just saying that. I can show you research on that, okay? But if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. If you have an opinion, let me know. But a lot of men that I know between the ages of 30 and 17 are living with someone, either their mother or a woman, a female. They move in like they don't want responsibility. And I always wonder, where does that come from? And they seem to move in and cause chaos in the home. But that's how they manipulate you. They feel they're like they come in as your savior. And everything is wrong because of you, because you're crazy, you're taking them pills, or you can't keep a job, and all these things. And it's really that person that caused all of these issues for you. Or your father may have been on drugs, alcohol, or just a horrible person. You never saw that he loved and respected your mother. And because of that, it started to become ingrained in you about how you treat a woman. Your view is terribly flawed. And your view of treating a woman is mistreating her, cheating, abuse, taking her money, tearing her car up. All of these type of things. It is rooted in something, in my professional opinion. And all of these things can happen with gas. It's called gaslighting. And many people that deal with gaslighting, they say may be a sociopath or narcissistic behaviors. Now, I will admit to you, I have never dealt with somebody that was a sociopath. If I thought they had characteristics, I referred them on to somebody higher than myself, like a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I am a licensed clinical mental health counselor, okay? So psychologists do a lot of more testing. Psychiatrists can give them pills they need and all this type of good stuff. So I just want you to kind of be careful with that. And gaslighting, let me come on get to it. You're always negative, always hateful, always got something bad to say. Like you'll tell your wife, my wife is pathetic, she'll lose. Or you tell your husband, my husband, old lose, old punk, he ain't worth nothing. Why would you talk about somebody you connected to like that? Why? And then when somebody tell you, why you talk about your husband or wife like that, you get an attitude. Because you want somebody to come on, co-sign, and bash them with you. You need to be careful of that, because that may be gaslighting. My notes on another monitor, if y'all see me going back and forth, okay? People comment on the weirdest things. They'll let me know, look like you be blinking a lot or going like that. I'm reading off another monitor, okay? All right, so just think about that. I want you to also think about somebody that is being repetitive. They do the same thing every time they get paid. They want to argue, fuss with you, so they can go out and hang out with the fellas or girls, take up all the money, cheat, whatever they do. And it always end up being your fault. But it's a pattern. Every 2 weeks, every week, the same kind of pattern happens. And they blame you for it. And so I'm telling you these things just so you know that they have grabbed a hold to your emotions and you are responding out of a negative emotion because you're dealing with somebody that's not well, somebody that values what they think, their beliefs over yours. They're looking at you as a way, what can I do to break this person down, but keep a hold of them where I can still get to do what I want to do. Now, I used to work in domestic violence, and I know a lot of men, and I wish I could say women, but there was a lot of men, just because men can't get pregnant. But men will use, try to keep a woman pregnant. They didn't want them, but they knew if I keep this woman pregnant, depressed, and down, she gonna stay with me because she ain't got no self-esteem. She ain't going nowhere. She want the kids to have a daddy, and they're going to just keep mistreating you. They're not going to do any better because you have not made them do better. You have settled for that. And that is another form of gaslighting. They keep repeating this cycle. And another thing, just so you will know, you all, when a woman is pregnant, domestic violence goes up. You can research that. You could call your local domestic shelter. They'll tell you that. But I will tell you this also. Thanksgiving, Christmas time, the domestic violence shelters are not really full because they try to stay together for the kids around the holidays, and then they start packing back up in January. But I'm not telling you all of this just so you can start noticing behaviors of people that are harming you and calling it love. Is actually called gaslight, and it's a term that they use, that people use in my profession to prepare you so you will know what gaslighting is and how to get out of it. Okay. And then another thing that they do, they challenge you. Like if you ask them, did you pay the bill? Did you pay the I'm gonna just use the water bill? Did you pay the water bill? And they didn't pay, but they arguing and screaming, trying to distract you because they didn't pay the bill. But they know if they keep challenging and arguing with you, what you gonna do? You're gonna finally just give up because, like, I got to go to work. I don't have time for this. But what do you do after that? Your water get cut off. And somehow or another, it becomes your fault because you didn't do something. You didn't put something in place. Instead of them being honest and say, I didn't pay the water bill. I did something else with the money. And probably something that they didn't need, like gambling, smoking cigarettes, or doing, doing something they didn't have any business that's not going to benefit the family. Do that make sense? And this is another thing. I wrote this down because I hear this a lot. So this is one that I like. When I caught my boyfriend sexting someone, he flatly said it didn't happen. Did I imagine the whole thing? He called me a crazy bee. And this person is saying it must have been me. I must have did something wrong. I must have imagined it. That man was sexting somebody, but because your self-esteem is so low and he done just beat you down, you just let it go. And you put it back on yourself. They start affecting your sanity because if you start believing, well, maybe I saw something wrong, I didn't hear something right. What do you think is going to happen when something go on with the kids, or when you're out doing something, or say you have to take medications yourself? Well, did I take my medicines? Did I do this? Did I do that? You start second guessing yourself because of a person that is abusing you, taking advantage of you, gaslighting. That's exactly, that's what it is. And then your friends will tell you, what happened to you ever since you've been with this guy? You have really changed. And you're trying to throw it on them. But if you look at it, you were well up until you saw this person. So I just want you to kind of think about that. And they always crying the victim. That person, male or female, always the victim is something. You always did something to them. You made them watch their own kids because you should have been there, or you should have gave them some money for daycare because they had to watch their own kids. And I see that a lot. some men and some women feel like they shouldn't watch their own kids and they blame the person. They're the victim. Or if they constantly losing jobs, well, she wouldn't let me hold a car, or the supervisor looked at me funny. Can you believe he told me to pull my pants up? And then they started, using everything as an excuse. They play the victim. Want somebody, I guess, to pat them on the head or something. I don't know. Play the victim so that they don't have to be an adult and deal with situations. It's easy to blame you and blame other people. So that's another thing that you need to be careful of when you deal with men or women that are always blaming other people for their actions. They can't never own up to nothing. And that's something I can't stand. Oh God, I can't stand it. And another thing I cannot stand is a person who have children bash their baby mama. I don't know why people think that's a turn on, but it's not. It's disgusting. Oh, you see my face? It's disgusting. But that's a part of gaslighting. It's evident however y'all relationship ended, you still have some issues, because if nothing else, love and respect her, because that's your child's mother. If nothing else, love and respect her for that. Okay, if you can't love her, like her a little bit, instead of bashing her. I know I'm talking good. Can I get a like and a share? The reason I'm asking for the likes and the share, y'all know how Facebook do the algorithm and stuff like that. Come on, like and share for us, sister. I appreciate it. Okay, so, and also consider people like being in codependent relationships. So most of the time, if somebody is trying to gaslight you, they have already zeroed in that you don't like to be by yourself. You have self-esteem issues, or you don't trust or value yourself or love yourself, or you may not have a lot of family support. So you kind of already being a victim by circumstance. They're going to just jump in and help you, but they're not. They're going to end up hurting you. And that's why I always tell people, make sure that you have supportive people around you that love you just because. Okay, make sure that you have somebody that'll check on you, like, look, this is not right. What can I do to help? And men, women, talk to your sons and your daughters. Let them know what love looks like, sincerity looks like. Let them know how real, true men act and respond. If that makes sense, I'm not bashing you if you are of a particular age. But what I'm saying to you is, if you are immature and people have told you you're immature, guess what? You're immature. Figure something out so that you can get yourself together. And I wanted to ask women, why do you still have your 35-year-old son living at home? I'll wait. Why? Do that make sense? I mean, he's single, may have some children, but living at your house, that don't make no sense. So somebody like that, it's evident something is wrong. You can't deal with life responsibility. You cannot function without help. And you are a perfect person where you are actually probably gaslighting your mom, or your family. You get what I'm saying? Because that's just not normal behavior. I know now children are a little slower than us. If that makes sense. I know they're a little slower, but you have not trained this person to be an adult. Do that make sense? Now, if they got a little ticky boom boom, I'm not talking to you. But if you know you have not prepared this person for life, you need to help them with a strong dose of reality and figuring some things out. Or, like I said, have they just learned to manipulate you and you just continue on with it because you're tired? Well, that's my son, that's my child. I mean, just saying, come on, let's figure that out. And I need to step on your toes and all that good stuff. That's what I do it in love, though. Okay, so just think about that, okay? Because it's different forms of gaslighting, okay? It's different forms. Dominate and control. That's another. Want to control everything. Want to control the money. Want to question where you go with the car. Want to question what you buy at the store. Or if you're with your friends, constantly calling you and asking you stupid stuff. You may have somebody on your hands that is gaslighting you. Okay, I'm going to put this information in the box because I want you all to kind of research this for yourselves and figure out, are you in this situation? Because this is how I feel. If you're in this situation, then you may, if you're not careful, it could end up into something else with domestic violence, or you begin to harm people, or your children are looking at you being misused and mistreated. And I see this a lot, not just as a therapist, but also in my own family. You want your child to be better than you, but you never show them what better looks like. So when they start moving people in their house or accepting a half of a man or woman, you get mad. But when they tell you, well, what you mad for? This is what you showed me. You get angry. Why you getting angry? Or you get angry at the wrong person. How about you get angry with yourself because you know you've done the wrong thing or you didn't do everything right? And nobody is perfect as a parent. We all make mistakes. But what I'm saying to you is, how can your child do better than you if you never teach them that? If they never see an example of that, how can they know to do better? I don't understand that. One thing my father used to tell me that, used to get on my nerve: do as I say and not as I do. Well, what the devil that mean? That, to me, you using that as an excuse not to do anything. That don't mean anything. And so that was one thing I chose when I was raising my son. That's something I don't say, because I tell him, I'm leading by example. Now, you can dismiss the example, but you can't never say you didn't have one. You just can't never say you didn't have one, because I showed you. And when I goofed up, when I realized that, I let you know I goofed up, and we got back on track. Did that make sense? Never say that. And if you know you are doing something, if you know you like to hunch, y'all know what that means. Why you got to hunch at home? Why can't you go to the hotel like normal people? Why you got to bring that around your children? I just don't understand that. And then you wonder why they act the way that they do. Or then you bring these crazy men and women that be mistreating you, you bring them around your children. But you have high hopes that they go on to Harvard and, Yale and all this stuff. Now they can still go. They can still go. But what I'm saying is, why are you making it so much harder for them? Think about it. Just think about what I'm saying. And don't misunderstand me. You're grown. You like to have sex. That's your business. But what I'm saying is, why does a one night encounter have to end up with somebody moving into your house with your kids? Think about it. You don't even know this person. You got kids. Now you know I'm gonna look at you funny. Then you get mad when people look at you funny and ask, well, how long did you know this person? You met him on what app? Come on. Does that make sense? I know that makes sense. But all I'm saying to you is, gaslighting plays a part in a lot of different relationships. It can be, mostly it's relationships like a couple. But many times it also can be parent and child and parent, those type of things. Sometimes you may see this foolishness in the workplace, where somebody always trying to throw you under the bus or get you in trouble or outdo you just to say, well, I did this, or I told so-and-so about it, but I had to step in. All of that is gaslighting, and you need to address it. You need to figure some ways out. And if you know that you mistreat people in relationships, you're immature and got a little silliness in you. First, I would say, go talk to a mature pastor or your religious provider, or seek help, seek a therapist, okay? Seek somebody that you could talk to, but that you can receive information from. That's the hiccup part, because some people, when they come into therapy, they automatically think people are judging them. So I want to make sure that you are having therapy with somebody that you can receive information from, so you can get some help, okay? So that you can start having the best life that you absolutely are worthy of, and also be the best man or woman for your child and your family now. And when I'm talking about the best life, I am definitely not talking about the new weave you got on your head, the beautiful car you just bought, or the 3, 4 story house. That's material. That stuff falls away. But what about your heart? Okay? What about the legacy for your kids, that they knew their mom and daddy loved them and had to take a hard dose and look at themselves for their sake? Did that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. So when people say they best life, I always ask, well, what is that best life? Is it a bunch of material stuff? Because I mean, if that's all you have, you really don't have the best life. This, like I said, this just Marsha opinion. This is just my opinion. But do you really have the best life if that's all you have? I'm just saying, think about it. Your children don't like you, don't know you. Everybody at work think you conceited and all this type of stuff. Do you really have the best life? So I really just want you to think about gaslighting. That was the point of this now. Gaslighting. Do you have some traits of it, or do you know somebody that may have some traits of it? And what can you do now that you know some of the symptoms and causes of gaslighting? What are you going to do differently? Huh? What are you going to do different for yourself as well as others? And if you are a victim of domestic violence, please reach out and get you some help. They do have supportive counselors there. You can go to group counseling. They'll be more than happy to help you. You can also get your children in supportive counseling. But one thing I've learned about young people and children, they are resilient. And what I mean, they recover quicker than older people. Like me, if I'm devastated by something, it may take me a while to recover. But somebody younger, it may not, just because they are still having those emotional highs and lows, and they may recover way quicker than I can. So they're just more resilient than us, okay? Get you some help. The point of this live is get you some help, figuring out gaslighting, and get you some help, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Even myself, I have to get help. I have a mentor that I talk to. I have a pastor, that I seek help from. So get you some help, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I like this. You're right. Young ones are very resilient. They are, and they're very forgiving too. But at some point, they stop being forgiving, especially if you keep doing the same thing over and over, and you can't explain to them why. I just don't want to talk about it. That's not really helpful. Okay. But get you some help, some support. And if I can be of assistance, please reach out and let me know. Next week, we will be talking about how to deal with the holidays. Okay. So, of course, this Thanksgiving is going to be entirely different than anything we've ever had to deal with in my adult life. I've never remembered a time like this. So we're just going to give you some tools that you can use to help you be prepared for this Thanksgiving. I want you to get excited about it. One tip I'll give you now before we leave. I want you to be prepared this year to maybe pen pal some of your family. You could do that now. Like, hey, what's your address? Send them a beautiful card. Send them a card and say, hey, can you send me something from your state or from your county, and I'll send you something? You can do that now to get the kids involved with that. That's something that you can definitely do. Or maybe do Thanksgiving different. I know y'all tired of them little dry turkeys. I like a smoked turkey myself. But if I don't have turkey this year, I'm gonna be all right. Figure something else out. What else can you do to make it fun for you and your kids? So I'm going to help you with that. But the one thing you could definitely do today is pen pal some of your family and friends that you may not get to see this year. Okay. You can definitely do that. The old snail mail. That's the kind of way I like. Or text and figure some things out that you could do to get the kids involved with that. What y'all think? I think that's a wonderful idea. Oh yeah, no problem, Tanya. She's saying thank you for this. What happens? Your childhood certainly affects your personality in adulthood. No problem. Yeah. So make sure that this is a wonderful Thanksgiving and tell the kids, hey, this is gonna be a wonderful Thanksgiving. it's going to be wonderful because we're still going to be together. We're still going to make it special for us. And we're going to be able to tell each other and remind each other about it 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So you make it the best Thanksgiving that you possibly want it to be. Start talking about it now. Start saying, oh, you can't see nobody. Oh, you got the people in your house. You got your neighborhood. Think about that. Stop thinking of the bad. Let's celebrate the good, okay? So I'm going to have some more tips for you on next week. So please tell somebody about the live. I want to thank you so much for all the support and love that you all have just bestowed on me. I have really enjoyed this time with you. Again, if I can help with anything, please reach out. And if you have somebody that you feel like would benefit from the community spotlight, please again reach out to me at Marsha@yourprofessionalsister.com. All right, you all take care, and may the best belong to you.